It's just an extension of what we were talking about before. Because what we want to do, we want to recognise a problem and how can we avoid it happening again. So Bryan and I were having a chat, and I was mentioning that, can you do paddling again, mate? So see that paddling motion, how you can imagine this is contracting all of this area here. And most surfers, if you work on them, and you feel here where they're asymptomatic, you will feel that there's a lot of tension there. And you guys, if you're surfers, you'll feel it yourselves. Okay, so we talked about the benefit of doing backstroke. So can you do it like a backstroke? So you can imagine when we're doing this, we're stretching these fibers, okay? And we're strengthening the back ones as well. Because as surfers, we often lack that, that balance between the anterior and posterior shoulder. You can imagine if we don't have strong posterior muscles, and we've got really tight anterior ones, well, you could be in a big tube and fall. And this is why dislocation is one of the reasons why dislocations are common. Has that happened to you before, mate?
Not happened to me, but I hear a lot of people do that. And
it comes out here, yeah. And it's tricky. Then we're getting into risking recurrent dislocations and other damage. So let's talk about a few easy things that you can do for prevention. Okay, so we mentioned, you're here at a long light point break. You can paddle back, not all the time. You can do some good backstroke in there. You can go to pull into that as well. And guys, depending on the level you're at, if I've got a band around, I don't know if I've got a band close by, but imagine if you tie an elastic band to the door, and you can do external rotation to the door. We can also have it tied there, for example, the elastic to the door, and we're pulling back. So we're doing the posterior, posterior muscles, pulling it back, and external rotation for these outside and posterior muscles. Great. Then this one, let's go on here. And what you can do, let's imagine you don't have the band and you're at an airport, you're a wall. I can be doing that. So imagine you're a wall, and I'm doing the external. So I'm just doing it against the force. That's already strengthened.
Yeah, for sure.
And what we've got to rely on you guys knowing here is what stage you're at. So, for example, we've just worked on your right arm. I don't want to pressure them up at the moment, but that weight there's 10 pounds. Okay, so we'll just do the left. But what we want to do also, guys, is think of anything that's going to work the posterior shoulder. So, wide grip, narrow grip. Wide grip, narrow grip. Okay? So just do it in one, the shoulder we didn't work on.
This one?
Yeah.
This is really nice.
Yeah, so pull that up, and then out. Exactly, so I'm going to show you here. So first one, up, and then out. So you're just working different parts of the shoulder. Perfect.
Like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is good.
Yeah, it feels good.
We never do that. Right?
No, we don't do it because we're humans and we only worry about it when it's already happened. Just try it on the other one. I don't think you're going to have a problem.
No, I know. It's like...
And good. That's perfect. So shoulder close to body and then shoulder laterally. Good. So there's the other one. Let's do both of those now. So the good thing is, doing a bit of low back as well, which is great. I love the idea of combining a few things. Yeah, perfect. Awesome. That's a basic one, mate. You could be in your hotel room somewhere and not have a weight, but have something small. Exactly. No protection. There's heaps more to show, but I just want to show you that one because we'll talk about it after. I think it's worth it.
That's a good one.
Cheers, mate. Unreal.